Hey everybody, thanks Scott, and a thank you to you and your staff and to NASCAR and everybody that worked so hard to put this together. We appreciate it. Always a great event, and we're happy to be on the first day this year. I just want to make one quick announcement before we actually get started. We're a little short today. Dave Rogers and JD Gibbs are not in attendance today. They had some conflicts on their calendars and weren't able to join us. And Darian Grubb emailed me last night. He and the entire Grubb family has the flu, so we said we probably preferred that you just stay home. So we are a little short, but we think we still have a great program, and we look forward to working with all of you this year. And so I'm going to bring up Dave Alpern, our Chief Marketing Officer at Joe Gibbs Racing, who will serve as our MC today, and the rest of the Joe Gibbs. We're going to do a quick photo here, straight across the stage with our participants.
Denny said when Chris introduces us, we ought to all just go out the other door and psych them out. They actually did it. Appreciate that.
Just Lion, let's do a quick photo here. Don't sit down. Quick photo up front. Just look out. Photo. There you go.
While everyone gets seated, there are names on the chair, so that, Denny, that was for you. As Chris mentioned, I'm Dave Alpern, Chief Marketing Officer of Joe Gibbs Racing. I want to start by thanking everyone in attendance. Just all of you who cover our sport on a weekly basis. I don't think you get the recognition you deserve. You guys do an awesome job. So on behalf of the drivers and our team, we want to thank each of you again who makes our sport possible. Also want to thank Charlotte Motor Speedway and of course NASCAR for continuing the great tradition of this event every year. We have a couple new faces up here. We're really excited to let each of them talk about what will be the 24th season for Joe Gibbs Racing. Before we do that, I want to make one note before we get started with some questions. We actually had some racing last week. Toyota and Charlotte Motor Speedway, Toyota and NBC over at Charlotte Motor Speedway teamed up for what was honestly one of the coolest things that I've seen since I've been a part of racing in my over 20 years with the Toyota Gridiron Challenge, where we took some NASCAR drivers and some NFL legends, put them in some race cars and had a lot of fun. And I want to just encourage each of you Friday night after you watch the Hall of Fame induction ceremony to tune into NBC Sports Network for the 1-hour special that'll start at 10 o'clock. You won't want to miss it. It was awesome. And there'll be about a 4-minute segment of that'll be played on NBC during the pregame for the Super Bowl. So you won't want to miss that. We had a lot of fun with that. But with that, we're going to get started. We're actually going to start in the back with Eric Jones. Eric, thanks for being here today. You'll be running full-time in the trucks this year with KBM, as well as 17 Xfinity races with Joe Gibbs Racing. Your story is an awesome one, considering that you got your start as a result of getting noticed by none other than Kyle Busch by actually besting him at a snowball derby back in 2012. I hope you remind him of that often.
I don't, but I hope you do.
Okay, good. We do. Talk a little bit about the year ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty fun, really. I think being able to go out and run for a full season in the trucks and chase down a championship is something I've been looking forward to. And then on the Xfinity side, going out and be able to run 17 races and get more seat time there is going to be pretty exciting too. So just a fun year ahead. Going to be busy in the seat, way more races than I've ever run before, and I really can't wait to get going.
Thanks, Eric. Speaking of busy.
Hey, I just want to say that he was hard to get signed because Kyle's his agent. It's ridiculous. The only guy that gets 80% of what the driver gets.
Appreciate that.
That's
Thanks.
true from my agent experience.
Daniel, you'll be quite busy this year as well. Looking forward to seeing you run the full Xfinity Series schedule, as well as 13 truck races with KBM, a handful of ARCA races. Talk about your outlook for the upcoming season.
Well, thank you, Dave. Thank you to everyone to being here. I can say excited, but I will say happy. I'm very happy to be here this year with Joe Gibbs Racing. Definitely an awesome opportunity. 3 years ago, when I arrived here in the United States, I didn't mention this a lot, but I was a big fan from Joe Gibbs Racing, and 3 years later, here we are. So I'm very thankful with everyone who has been supporting me in my racing career, and hopefully we can learn and make something good happen in this 2015.
Thanks, Daniel. It's been great to have you so far. Carl, it's great to have you on board. Great to have you up here with us. I got to tell you, we've got a lot of new partners, and honest to goodness, I think this man has been in a photo shoot literally every day since he's been to Joe Gibbs Racing. You've been a great sport. Talk about your outlook, all your new partners for this upcoming season.
Well, yeah, Eris, they came on board in a huge way. I know they're really excited. They'll be at the Daytona 500, and that should be a lot of fun. Stanley, Sport Clips, everyone, it's all come together really well. I'm excited to get to learn from these guys and get to race under the JGR banner for Toyota. And, we had a great test at Charlotte, and I'm really ready to go. I've been wearing my driver's suit a lot.
He was wearing it about 5 minutes ago, by the way. It was impressive that we all got up here on time. Thanks, Carl. Matt, you seem to be hanging in there pretty well after last weekend. I know you had a tough weekend with your Packers, but you seem to be doing okay. I was rooting for the Packers, too.
A lot better not to the coaches here.
Needless to say,
everybody's giving me a hard time about the Packers. I said, at least they play in January.
Okay. As a Redskins fan, okay. Touche. How anxious are you for the new season to get started?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It was nice to get on the racetrack last week in Vegas. Then do a little tire test. We didn't get a lot of testing done, but at least we got some laps and ran through some stuff for a good year. So it's good to get on the track. I think, like everybody is at this time of year, looking forward to going to Daytona. Curious to see what the season's got in store for us coming up. So just ready to get going, get racing, get through Daytona. Everybody always goes down there with the idea of trying to win the 500. Everybody loves going there. So looking forward to that, and then really looking forward to the next 5 or 6 races after that, so we can kind of see where we're stacking up compared to our competition.
Speaking of the 500, this will be our 24th Daytona 500. We actually won our second, and we haven't won one since, so we would really appreciate it if one of you, I know Coach specifically, would love another one of those rings. So thanks, Matt. Kyle, it's been a real busy off-season of testing for you, for sure. Let's see, we've had some stroller testing, we've had some baby carrier testing, we've had some baby CPR testing. Obviously an exciting 2015 ahead for you, both with you and Sam getting ready to welcome the birth of your first son, as well as you being paired up with a new crew chief. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's certainly been an off-season of firsts for me, and getting plenty of testing done. Unfortunately, it's been not with Adam Stevens yet, but with Samantha and everything, that's been really fun to do. And obviously looking forward to the opportunity of becoming father in May. But first things first, the Daytona 500 comes before that. So the start of the season's just around the corner. We all know it, but to get back out there on the racetrack with a new crew chief, with Adam Stevens coming up from the Xfinity Series, and the relationship that we've grown there and the success that we've shared there has been obviously something that gives us a chance to go into this season with at least something that we know of each other's background and know how to work with one another. So Cup Series entirely different, but obviously just being back with M&M's in the number 18 car and having Crispy on board this year, my favorite, and it's going to be cool to see the M&M's car running around there again with green this year instead of the traditional yellow. So I will be in bright green, and people will have to remember that it is M&M's colors and not necessarily Interstate Batteries colors, so they both go hand in hand. So it's going to be fun to see that.
Yeah, we're definitely used to seeing you in green. It'll be okay. Denny, you had the opportunity to be one of the first in the Championship 4 last year under the new format. Talk about your prospects of getting back in that same position in Homestead this year, and also of being reunited with Dave Rogers, who you were paired with back in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah, I think that last year, we always, in years past, we've had a lot of really good speed, but hadn't always executed well. And I think last year, as much speed challenge as what we were throughout the year, we got to the Final Four, and that showed that we've really excelled in the execution side of things. And I think that obviously all those changes and personnel changes and crew chief changes we've done with the organization, it's the best move for everyone here. And I think that the staff that JGR was able to hire in the offseason, growing our team by large numbers, a lot of the concerns that you have as a driver when you bring on an extra team is that are you spreading yourself too thin? And I think that JGR has done a great job of hiring really good staff over this offseason to accommodate that fourth car. And it, for me, it makes me excited about the prospects of what JGR's got in store for it this year. So overall, just ready to get going, just like these guys are. I haven't had to get in the car and haven't done any tests or anything yet. So kind of relying on the teammates and listening to what Matt said so far. But overall, pretty jacked up about the season.
Thanks, Denny. Jimmy, you started our first team. You were a part of starting the second team and the third team. Talk about some of the differences or some of the challenges in executing a fourth team during this offseason. I know it's been a huge undertaking around the shop, to say the least.
Well, that's true. It started really before the season was over with. We had to do some preliminary things, get some things ordered, trucks and pit boxes, things like that you just can't wait until after the season's over with to start. So a lot of the work started back in the summer when we knew we were going to do a fourth team. So it's been quite an ordeal. It seems like to me after going to a second team and a third team, this fourth team is exponentially harder. Just I think because you've got so many more people involved than the first team. We went from 17 people to 50-some people the first time around, and so it wasn't so bad. Now we're in the 400 or 500 range, and it's a lot more people to deal with. In fact, I think we were talking the other day. We had a new employee meeting, and we looked around the room, and the auditorium we had 100 seats are in that auditorium, and there were people sitting on the steps. So we filled that up plus. So this goes to show you how much it's grown and how much of an undertaking it is to do the fourth team. But as Denny said, we've got some really great people coming on board, and it's been neat to watch the chemistry work, especially with the changes in crew chiefs amongst our teams. There's a lot of chemistry being worked out with people. I think that's the hardest thing right now this winter is getting the new people on board, getting them to work together, figuring out where they're going to fit in, how things are going to work. So that's to me has been the hardest thing this winter. But been very excited with seeing what we've seen. The guys have done a great job gelling together.
You mentioned the new employee meeting. Coach spoke at that meeting, and I know walked in and probably looked around and went, oh my gosh, look at all these folks. Coach, we'll finish with you and let you share your thoughts about the upcoming season. A lot of changes around the building. How are you feeling about 2015?
Well, I think back to Jimmy and our start, we mentioned 17 people, and you think about it, where we are today, I think it's just been an absolute thrill for all of the Gibbses, JD, Coy, and our whole family, Pat, and everybody. It's been a thrill for us to be in a sport like this and have a chance to be where we are today. It kind of, it's overwhelming, really. I look at Eric and Daniel. They're going to make our Fridays and Saturdays a lot of fun to see young guys come. I think when I sit here and look at Denny, when he first came on board with us and starting in a similar situation and where he winds up today being one of the stars, I'm excited about the young guys getting a chance to come on board. I'm excited about our new people that have been brought on board at Joe Gibbs Racing. And it's a thrill now to have our fourth car with Carl and Darian. It's going to be really exciting for us. So it's a thrill for all of us at Joe Gibbs Racing. I'm really thankful to be a part of something like this where you win with people. We got great people. We think we've added some more this year, and it's a thrill for us to be a part of NASCAR and the NASCAR family, which all of you are a part of. It's a thrill for us to be a part of something like this, and so I couldn't be more excited next year. I know our Cup program, I'm gonna go out there every week thinking, we're gonna have a chance every single week. So it's exciting for us, and it's a thrill to be a part of today and getting a chance to start off the year hopefully with a real positive note.
Thanks, Coach. Speaking of winning with people, I just saw in the back, David Wilson, president of TRD's here. Didn't see here before. Couldn't do it without those guys. Glad you could be here today. Before I turn it back over to Scott Cooper, we've got a fun little video. Well, it's fun for us. It may not be fun for you. A little excerpt from our top secret Christmas video that we do every year that is an internal thing only, but we took a couple pieces from it that we thought y'all would get a kick out of. So if you'll turn your attention to the screen, and then Scott, you can come back up as soon as the video gets done. So take a look. I hope you enjoy it.
Over the last few months, we've been asking some of our celebrity guests to sit down and read the mean things people tweet about them. This is the third time we've done this, and we call it Celebrities Read Mean Tweets.
Coy Gibbs kicked my bag over onto the ground. I highly doubt that this is the way Joe raised him. What went wrong? You can suck it.
At Matt Kenseth, if you touch Brad again, I will literally end you.
I think I just threw up in my mouth. I did not wish Carl well, and I cannot cheer him on. Did you tweet that?
At KGHK says, Denny Hamlin looks like a hipster boy with his new haircut. Probably has skinny jeans under the fire suit. If you've seen my skinny jeans, is not enough.
James T. Wright at Big Blue Mojo. Kyle Busch is such a and a big stick to the Cup Series. Hashtag.
I am never, ever, 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 ever turning my back on him, ever. Ever.
At Corey McDaniel 29 says, Kyle Busch, you are such a whiny very unprofessional. You need to learn some respect and pull the out of your
At Country High says, Denny Hamlin gets hurt more than Derrick Rose, and he sits in a car for a living. How does that happen?
Teaching my son the right way to treat a JGR car. Go Hendrick Motorsports. Good candidate for Parent of the Year right there, buddy.
Now it's time to sing along when your day is not.
Boo, Carl. This is worse than having Denny.
Man, I swore I had more fans than this.
All right, so thanks for the tweets. Appreciate it, folks. Lots of support.
Everybody hurts sometimes.
Scott, come on up. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
You know, one thing we've learned over the years, we can always count on our friends at Joe Gibbs Racing to have a good time with us on our media tour stop. And for these gentlemen that are up on stage, you're probably looking at arguably the most successful group of drivers that may be on the circuit right now. One of these, certainly, at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Carl Edwards is a NASCAR Sprint All-Star race winner. This year, we're very fortunate to celebrate the 15th anniversary of Matt Kenseth's first ever Cup win, the 2000 Coca-Cola 600. Kyle Busch is our winningest Camping World Truck Series driver and Xfinity Series driver at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And while Denny's had some very strong runs, hasn't broken into victory lane yet, we know as a Coke Racing family driver this year, it's just a matter of time, and we'd like to have him in there this year for the Coca-Cola 600.
Could I mention we've never won the All-Star race? One year, though, we were leading with 2 laps to go. I'd already spent the money. And 2 people up here wrecked each other. So I just want to bring that up. We'd like to win that race.
Again, it gives us something else to look forward to in May. How about that? Coach?
I can't wreck him if I'm leading. It happened.
Too much to get over that.
As I like to say sometimes, only at Charlotte. Coach, thank you very much. Team, good luck this year. We really appreciate you joining us today on behalf of the Speedway for this year's Media Tour kickoff. These gentlemen are going to exit at this time and head over to the breakout interview room. Gentlemen, thank you very much. You're welcome to exit behind the curtain, and we'll get you in your interview locations. They will be available for breakouts until 5:15 this afternoon. Again, a quick reminder, we'll have the print online media on the left side of the room to start, and the broadcast
broadcast media on the right. Should have plenty of time, and then we'll call for a switch about middle way through. Thank you.